One of the initial ideas about SPHeritage project was to see the relationship between human settlement during the interglacials particularly and sea level change. Because when we want to study sea level change and relate them to human communities during prehistory, we have to care about assessing what we call relative sea level change, which is sea level change that is the result of a sum of contributors that are not only related to the change in mass and volume of water within the oceans, but also to the changes that affect the lithosphere in function of changes of mass of water within the oceans, and also as a consequence of Earth dynamics. So in this figure on the right, we have green arrows that indicate the movements that affect the lithosphere when a change in the water cycle on our planet occurs, and the red arrows depict what instead is the signal which is independent from the amount of water present in the oceans. That is basically what we call the tectonic signal. I mean, the dynamic of the Earth related to plate tectonics and processes that occur in the interior of the Earth. So when we have to find out what was the shoreline displacement in the past, we have not only to account for changes in water mass and volume, but also on these movements that affect the lithosphere. This is the reason why reconstructing relative paleo sea levels is particularly difficult, tricky. Normally, what shall we do when we want to assess relative paleo sea levels? We have to recognize what we call indicators of paleo sea levels and to state their elevation and age. In this slide, I show you an example which is from Balzirossi, one of the most common types of geomorphological indicators of paleo sea level, which is the notch. The notch is what you see in the big photo as a relict landform, and you see the same notch as an active landform. So to identify paleo indicators, we have to relate them to modern indicators, and this is something that, for example, for notches we can do, we are able to do at Balzirossi, and the point here is to understand which is the relation to mean sea level of the present notch and apply this interpretation to older notches. And so the first activity that we did was remeasuring all the indicators that we were recognized and of which we have evidence from the past literature. We remeasured everything with the modern techniques, so we needed to have complexive range of elevations of the submerged and of the emerged area. I'm not going to go into detail about this, but just to give you the idea that this is not straightforward. Assessing the elevation is something which is not straightforward. It requires a lot of work. And from our work, we got some very preliminary results. This is a diagram in which the elevation of most of the indicators that we have recognized is reported. This is not paleo sea level. This is just the elevation of indicators. This is a good set, is a good data set that we will use in the next future. This is our job for next month. That will be converted into paleo sea levels, And also our technique for elevation assessment was applied to provide a combined topographic and bathymetric digital elevation model for the area. We created a digital elevation model for the emerged part with data from a LiDAR survey that we got from the Italian Ministry of the Environment, and then ourselves within the project activities provided data in order to create a bathymetric model down to the isobath of 120 meters. And then there is the second part, which is dating sea level indicators, which is tricky. We decided to use the following dating methods. So from uranium thorium on flowstones and on bioincrustations to magnetostratigraphy to luminescence dating to amino acid racemization, and then also strontium isotopes ratio. This is more or less the type of dating techniques that we are going to apply, and most of these analyses are in progress. So, how is all this work that we are doing on sea level, about sea level, relevant for human settlement? The only thing that I want to say is that I think that finally, when we have all the results, we can find some relationship between our activities and those that are carried out in order to understand what was the relationship between humans and especially the marine environment during prehistory. The next type of activities that we are going to start is the reconstruction of the paleo landforms on the continental shelf that will be based on our bathymetric digital elevation model that we already have, but it will also be based on the identification through seismic profiles of the related deposits, and also hopefully through some corings we will be able to refine our interpretation of the submerged landforms and find hopefully some evidence of human settlement below present-day sea level. So the conclusion of my talk is not a conclusion, is something like an open perspective. Thank you everybody for listening, and we welcome your comments on the following discussion session. Thank you.